Thanks indeed. With that, now it gives me pleasure to introduce Natasha. She's going to share for 20 minutes.
Cool. Hi everyone, my name's Natasha and I'm an addict.
Hi Natasha.
And I'm really grateful too. I'm really grateful, just like your man there. And they say you can't be grateful and hateful at the same time, even though I disagree, because I'm grateful for being an addict, but I'm hateful towards my son at the moment because he's causing me stress. But anyway, it's about recovery today. Yeah, I'm really grateful to be alive, and anything else that happens is a bonus. When I got up this morning, I thank God for waking me up, because I could have died in my sleep. So I just think tomorrow's not promised, and this is a killer illness. I had a mate who was in recovery. She was 4 years clean and relapsed in the July and was dead in the August. So I just feel like this is a killer illness. It wants me dead, and it's not necessarily a revolving door. When I pick up drugs, they take me to places that I don't want to go. When I pick up, I don't know if I'm going to put down. So I have to keep coming back here because my thinking is messed up. My thinking will tell me it'll be different next time, or it wasn't that bad. And it's about not believing that lie. It's about being honest with myself. It's about self-honesty, because if I'm not honest, I'm going to struggle, basically. And I first came into recovery 13 years ago, and I did a decade of research, basically a decade of being in and out. And they say if you don't change, your clean time will. And I've had like 5 months, I've had nearly 3 years, I've had 11 months, I've had 3 months. And I just thought, that's the thing, they say like drugs are the first thing you put down, but it's the last thing you pick up. And I'm thinking sometimes, am I in the middle of a relapse and not know it yet? But I've got to just keep coming back, basically. And they say that the newcomer's the most important person at the meeting, so I used to keep relapsing because I always wanted to be the most important person. It's not about that, really. And so I did 6 treatment centres as well, like 1 was too many, 6 weren't enough. And that's the thing, you can get recovery in these rooms. I really admire people that come in and just do it through the rooms. Like, it's just for today as well. Like, relapse isn't a requirement, but it's the journey that I had. Like I said, I was in and out for 10 years, and it's just for today. It's a 24-hour thing, because I used to think, oh God, like, I'm going to have to stop using forever, but it's not forever. That's the thing. All I've got is here. All I've got is now, and I've just got to like let go of what was, accept what is, and just have faith in what will be. And it is a spiritual program as well. When I used to come to meetings, I hear people going on about God. I used to think, oh God, I've walked into a bunch of atheists. But God can be an acronym for anything. It could be like a group of druggies, get over denial, gift of desperation, giver of dignity, great outdoors, good orderly direction, get off drugs. Whatever it is, as long as I know that I'm not God, because I am this egomaniac with an inferiority complex, and I think that I know best, and my best thinking got me in these rooms, basically. And when I came in, I used to argue everything. I used to argue with the steps. I wanted to rewrite the steps. It says, step 1, we admit we were powerless over our addiction, that our lives have become unmanageable. And I was saying, what do you mean? We admitted. It should say we accepted, because if we accept it, it means we fully concede to our innermost self, and we don't have to go out and do any more market research. And then when step 2 says we came to believe that our power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity, I'm saying no, it shouldn't say could. It should say would, because could means there's wriggle room, and I need certainty that I'm going to be restored to insanity, which clearly I have not been yet, but I keep coming back. And then when step 3 says made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him, I'm saying, well, who says it's Him? It could be a her. It should say God as we understand God. Why are these people trying to brainwash me and think God's of man? It should say God as we understand God. Whatever, just accept the program. And when step 9 says made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others, I was thinking, well, it's going to injure everybody, therefore I don't need to make any amends whatsoever. And always trying to find a shortcut or a loophole. And it just doesn't work. That's the thing. You come in here, you get these suggestions. Suggestions, as they say, are like pulling the parachute cord when you jump out. It's like do or die. No, it's not really. You do what you want to do, but basically you're only going to get out of it what you put in. And it is about that honesty, open-mindedness, willingness, action, prayer. Behind each of the steps, they've got principles. And as you work through the steps, you like unwrap the principles. Like, I think it's honesty, hope, faith, courage, integrity, willingness, humility, forgiveness, love, discipline, awareness, service. And if I can like work each of these on a daily basis, then, well, it's going to be, my life's going to be a lot easier. I'm not going to say, because that's what I was saying before the meeting, like, I come in here and I'm thinking, I'm in recovery now, my life should be a bed of roses, like nothing should affect me, but I'm going through some stuff at the moment which I'm thinking, God, why am I doing this? I'm clean now, but it doesn't matter. Just because you're clean, it doesn't mean life's not going to happen. This program teaches me to live clean. It's not even about, it's always about the drugs, but it's not about stopping, because I was always trying to stop and I couldn't stay stopped. It's about living clean, and by practicing these principles in all my affairs, I learned to do that. So I just love this stuff. I love it. And like even step 10, like don't be an arsehole. If you are, promptly admit it. Just simple little steps that we can take to make our lives a lot easier. And I keep going on about the program. The people that I'm dealing with, like in my life, like my family, people in the world, whatever, they haven't got a program of recovery. I've got this beautiful, I've got a negative illness, or I've got a beautiful 12-step program of recovery that I can combat it with. So I need to practice that patience, tolerance, love, forgiveness, and service. And that's the thing, this program does teach me to forgive myself, find myself, and forget myself in the service of others. And it is about doing service. There's these 5 suggestions, and it's like sponsorship, steps, support from the meetings, what is it, sponsor, steps, Oh my God, I've forgotten the 5 suggestions. Having a sponsor, working the steps, sharing, getting support for the meetings and doing service. And service does help to keep me clean because it keeps me getting back to meetings even if I don't want to go. With the meetings, I say, please get to meetings. This is the college of knowledge. This is where I learn how to live clean. It's better to be in here pretending that I'm an addict than to be out there pretending that I'm not. And basically, meeting makers make it. More meetings, more choice. Less meetings, less choice. No meetings, no choice. No one was ever found dead with a meeting hanging out of their arm. I remember that in treatment, they said you've got to do 3 meetings. I'm thinking, why do I have to do 3 meetings? I want to do Friday night one. That's my favourite one. And the thing is, they even banned me. I was doing like 10 meetings a week, and I was saying, I've got to do one for myself, one for the newcomer, and one just in case. But I always want to do more. Just one more. Just one more. It's like everything is extreme. Like even children, I had 5. 1 was too many. 5 wasn't enough. Everything I do is too extreme. I've got 100 onesies. Why do I need so many onesies? It's like I want to be buried in one. I know that. I need to pick which one I'm going to be buried in. But it's like everything, like exercise, sex. The amount of kids I've got, you think I was a sex addict. I'm not, even though I've got 5 kids, but it doesn't matter. But that's the thing. Anything I did, it's always to excess. I started using because I thought I was fat, black, and ugly, basically. And you never use on the truth. You always use on lies. First of all, when I look at pictures of myself, my daughter's got a screensaver of me as a kid, and I think, God, I wasn't a bad-looking kid. So I wasn't ugly, I wasn't fat, and I wasn't even black. I was a dark shade of brown. So I was like using on lies, like, if you had the life I had, then you drink like me and use like me. And I used to do service in Holloway Prison. It was such a blessing to do. I did it for about 18 months. And there's women in there. Some women don't even hear. No, the thing is, no one knows about this stuff. Sometimes I think we should have this on billboards, like recovery, NA saves lives and gives lives. I went in there. Some people at their first meeting, like you come out, see them in the rooms after I went into Brixton Prison. So people don't hear about this stuff. Some people die not knowing that this stuff exists. So I just think we're here, we're the chosen few. It is just, I just feel like we're so blessed. And it is, like I was saying, like I suffer from the 7 C's. I'm always complaining, comparing, competing, controlling, condemning, criticising, catastrophizing. And sometimes I think, God, I'm 3 years in now and I'm still doing the same thing. So what's changed? And they say, like I said before, if you don't change, your recovery date will. It is about change. If you don't change, you'll use. But if you don't use, you'll change. And I went into treatment where this woman, this counsellor used to go, oh, have you remembered your first step today? I've never remembered anyone relapse that remembered their first step. So it's like I do remember my first steps. I remember that I'm powerless, but by coming here I get some power back. And she always used to say, look back but don't stare. If you don't change, you're going to remain the same person that needed to use. All these little sayings, and I think they really do come in handy. It works if you work it, and I think, oh God, yeah. But it really does. Like I said, we only get out of this what we put in. It is about helping others as well. You have got to give it away to keep it. Whether, like, there are loads of ways of doing recovery as there are people in recovery, but it is a 12-step program, so it is about working the steps, and it's like living this stuff on a daily basis. So it is about being in the world. And that's what I was saying, like sometimes when I'm coming up against something, like with my son, basically my son made me feel unsafe in my own home. Like the door was knocking and it was an law enforcement officer. So I was thinking, son, there's somebody here to see you, thinking that they were going to remove him from the home and they were coming to remove my stuff. And I was thinking, even if they did take all my stuff, it wouldn't have covered the cost of the debt, which was in its thousands. And it was originally a £65 fine. I was thinking, I called the police. I'm thinking, look, get them to get him out of the house. And they said, no, they're going to help him take the stuff unless I can prove that it's not mine. I'm thinking, God, like, what? It's like, is this what I've got clean for? And then I was thinking, like, I called the debt people to get advice from them, and they were saying, under no circumstances let these people in. And the housing chose that day to remove all the windows and doors. They would say, I couldn't even keep them out if I wanted to. I think, you couldn't have planned this. This couldn't have happened in an episode of EastEnders. So I'm just like, really, and that's the thing. It is about, the thing is, I'm still human. I am angry, still very angry, but anger is one letter away from danger. I can't afford anger and resentment, even though I collect them with each breath. I can't afford it because I used to use all my feelings, whether I was happy, angry, sad, mad, glad, whatever I was, I would use on that, and I'd have to change the way I feel. I don't need to use it to change the way I feel today. I really don't. I mean, I come to a meeting. Meetings are mood altering. I come to a meeting, I'm feeling shit, and I come here, people share back to me, and I'm connecting with people, and it's about that spiritual connection. I used to think that it was me and God against the world, but it's not. Like, God works through people, and I just feel like illness starts with I, wellness starts with we. We have to do this together. All of them steps start with we. I can't do this by myself. I alone could do this, but I can't do it alone. And as much as I'd like to think, I'm not keeping me clean. I don't know how I didn't use last week. I really don't. I was watching this programme, How to Get Away with Murder, and the woman was sitting there drinking vodka, and I was thinking, well, I'd be drinking brandy because I've got standards. And I was thinking, maybe dig a 6-foot hole in the garden, stick him in there, who'd notice that he was gone. But that's the thing, this programme is about, like I said, it's about forgiveness, it's about love, and it's about service. Like I said, I dragged my kids up from my addiction. It's like one day I woke up after like 20 years of using, and I had 5 kids, and I was thinking, freaking hell, like, where did these kids come from? And I still think they're consequences of my addiction. I'm thinking one of my biggest regrets is my kids, but it's not. Do you know what? I'm so lucky because every time I use, I invite social service into my life. I invite bloody treatment centres, hospitals, institutions. I even ended up in bloody insane asylums, and yeah, I'm glad. Like I said, I am grateful that they are in my life. But the thing is, them going through the life they've had, obviously, is going to have had a negative impact. So I've got to practice the same. I've got to treat him as a sick person. I've got to treat people with love and tolerance, just like I was expected to. People have patience and love with me, so I have got to practice that with my own family. And sometimes I think recovery does start indoors, and then I've got to like spread it. And like I said, it is about working these steps. You have to climb these steps to freedom. They say, "Oh, life is a dance if you do the steps." I have to do these steps because if I don't do these steps, it's like I'm just wandering around in my own little frigging circle. It just doesn't work. So if you are new, jump on board. It's an amazing ride. It's like just, and it's keep coming back as well. Don't even keep coming back, just stay, like furnish the place, kick back, get your pipe and slippers, maybe not the pipe, but get your slippers, make yourself comfortable, read the literature, help out, do what you need to do to survive. This, like I said, this stuff saves lives and it gives lives, and I just feel like, I'm just so, sometimes I feel so emotional about this stuff because I feel like, wow, this is like 0% volume but 100% proof that it works, but it's only if you work it. So I just think it's 12 steps, one promise, freedom from active addiction, really. If you, and like I said about the suggestions, get a sponsor, work the steps, share, get support from meetings and do service, because if it wasn't for people doing service, I wouldn't be here. Some guy was in a meeting earlier, he said he's been clean, he got clean at this convention 10 years ago. I think, wow, I used to rob, I used to steal, I used to steal my family's peace of mind. I used to do so much stuff. There's like a weird correlation between me not. I even got done for drink driving twice and didn't think I had a bloody addiction problem. And that's it, because I had alcohol issues as well. And I used to go to other fellowships sharing, saying, "Oh, I've stopped drinking now, I'm smoking crack instead," thinking that, like, I didn't realise it was the same illness. They're saying, "Oh, saying you're an alcoholic addict is like saying you're addicted to vegetables and broccoli. It's the same illness." And he said, "I think you better go to NA to click keywords." I go, "Oh, I'll go to NA to click the keywords." Nothing to do with being a crackhead. So that's the thing. It's like being honest about that self-honesty. And yeah, I think I'll leave it there.
Thanks, Natasha.
Thank you.